The extent of the damage in Kaikoura is becoming clearer, as we've just heard. These aerial pictures just in from the area. This house has entirely collapsed and a landslip is covering the tunnels on State Highway 1 near Kaikoura. A 7-person urban search and rescue team is on its way from Christchurch. Look at that huge landslip there is on its way from Christchurch in a helicopter to assist with the emergency response there. Now, military helicopters have also been deployed to help.
That was massive. Still going. Still moving.
Oh my God. Outside, what the fuck?
Earthquake jolts New Zealand, tsunami warning issued. A powerful earthquake rocked New Zealand early Monday local time, rattling buildings and triggering a tsunami that forced coastal residents to flee to higher ground. The U.S. Geological Survey said the magnitude 7.8 quake was centered less than 60 miles northeast of Christchurch. Buildings shook in the capital of Wellington, 130 miles from the epicenter. New Zealand's Ministry of Civil Defence urged coastal residents to move inland immediately. The first wave may not be the largest. Waves may continue for several hours, the agency warned. It urged residents stay out of the water and off beaches and to resist the temptation to go sightseeing. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said a Pacific-wide impact was not expected and that Hawaii was not threatened. The quake struck shortly after midnight. New Zealand is 18 hours ahead of the Eastern Time. It was massive and really long, Tamsin Dinser, a mother of two in Christchurch, told Agence France Presse. We were asleep and woke into the house shaking. It kept going and felt like it was going to build up. Marie Black, Deputy Mayor of New Zealand's Hurianui district, lives about 40 miles north of Christchurch. She told the New Zealand Herald there was reports of damage throughout the region. It was a significant shake, she said. I have felt several aftershocks, and it is very unnerving. The quake was a terrifying reminder comes less than 6 years after a magnitude 6.3 Templar struck 6 miles southeast of Christchurch, killing almost 200 people and destroying infrastructure. Some damage was reported to buildings as far away as Wellington, but there were no immediate reports of injuries. USGS said the quake, which struck just after midnight local time, emerged from the relatively shallow depth of about 6 miles. Shallow quakes tend to be felt more broadly than those that are centered well below the Earth's surface. A handout shake map released on November 13, 2016 by the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, shows the location, C, marked with star, of a 7.4 magnitude earthquake that struck New Zealand's South Island, 95 kilometers from Christchurch.
Hello there, welcome to Newsline. I'm Catherine Kobayashi in Tokyo. We start with this. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center in Hawaii says a magnitude 8.3 earthquake has occurred near the coast of central Chile. The PTWC said the quake struck at around 22:54 UTC on Wednesday. It says the focus was 10 kilometers deep. The PTWC is calling for caution against a possible tsunami. It says that tsunami waves reaching more than 3 meters above the tide level are possible along some coasts of Chile. It also says waves reaching 0.3 to 1 meter above the tide level are possible for some coasts of Ecuador and Peru. Anyone in those areas should listen to local authorities and disaster management officials for information and instructions. A magnitude 8.3 earthquake has occurred near the coast of central Chile. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center in Hawaii says the quake hit at around 22:54 UTC on Wednesday, just over an hour ago. It says the focus was 10 kilometers deep. The center is calling for caution against a possible tsunami. Now, the PTWC says tsunami waves reaching more than 3 meters above the tide level are possible along the coast of Chile. It also says waves reaching 0.3 to 1 meter above the tide level are possible for some coasts of Ecuador and Peru. People in those areas should listen to local authorities and disaster management officials for information and instructions. We'll continue to give you more updates on this story as they come.
Some breaking news at this hour. Officials in the United States have issued a tsunami watch for Hawaii after the strongest earthquake on the planet this year. The 8.3 quake hit west of Iapel, Chile, the largest earthquake to hit that area in 100 years. It was felt throughout central Chile and western Argentina. Right now, people living on the Chilean coast are fleeing their homes. The airport in the capital city, Santiago, is being evacuated as a precaution. Areas all along the Pacific coast, including Hawaii, are now under a tsunami watch. We'll continue to monitor this breaking news and bring you updates as we get them. Following breaking news after an 8.3 quake struck off the coast of central Chile. Moments ago, a buoy off that coast registered a 15-foot water rise, which indicates tsunami waves, though it is unclear if the waves are heading towards land. The quake hit west of Illapel, and the mayor says one person has died. The town is currently without power. The quake was felt throughout central Chile and western Argentina. Officials in the U.S. have issued a tsunami watch for Hawaii. That is all in for this evening. The Rachel Maddow Show starts right now. Good evening, Rachel.
Good evening, Chris. Thank you. And we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. As Chris mentioned, a tsunami watch issued for Hawaii after that earthquake. Again, this is one of those stories where the early indications are obviously something that you want to be riveted to. The early indications can be very scary. They do not always end up being a very scary thing, particularly given the direction in which these things move over the course of the over the surface of the ocean. But we'll be watching that closely tonight and letting you know as we learn more.
Don't want to be afraid, hard not to hesitate, but we can't wait to be the change. It's not too late, free from hate. Think of the future that we could create. Face the facts today. There's a better way. Take one step back and say there's a better way.